Hello, this is Kathy Tardif, a campus minister at Plymouth State, and I'm standing in front of the Labyrinth here on campus in our Peace Garden. The Peace Garden is across from Hyde Hall, which is right here, and next to the Office of Economic Sustainability and the Counseling Center. A labyrinth is a very ancient form of spiritual practice. Labyrinths are in hospitals, prisons, museums, retreat spaces, college campuses, as you can see here, many other places, health centers, and they're used on a regular basis by people to help them calm and center themselves, to discern decisions that they have to make, and simply get in touch with their intuitive side to come to insights about things that they're thinking about or concerned about. Labyrinths are, as I said, ancient. The oldest recorded one that we know of right now is from 1230 BCE. It was owned by King Nestor in Greece. Now, a labyrinth is different from a maze. As you're looking at this labyrinth here, you can see that you really don't have to think about it. It's one way in and the same way out. All you do is follow the path. A maze, on the other hand, requires a lot of thought. Once you get in, you've got to figure out how to get out. That's not the case with a labyrinth. Same way in, one way in, the same way out. That one path occupies your left brain, which is logical and organized. So your left brain is following the path, and that frees up your right brain to be creative and intuitive. If you've never walked a labyrinth before, it's really quite easy. You just walk it. You would begin at the entrance, which is right here for this one. You would acknowledge that you're in a sacred space. You'd pause, center yourself, and then you'd start following the path. I'm not going to follow the path. I think it would give you seasickness if I did that with this camera. But you follow it to the center. You pause in the center. You might stand and face each of the four directions. You could sit down briefly in the center, and then you follow the path out again. And once you come out, you turn, and again, you acknowledge that you've been in sacred space. You might have received some insight or some spiritual consolation or something like that while you were in the labyrinth, and then you can walk away. As I said, that makes sense if you've never walked a labyrinth before, and don't necessarily expect anything to happen. But you may just pay attention to your thoughts and feelings. Oftentimes, the way we walk the labyrinth is the way we live life. So if you find yourself bored, maybe there's something that you're bored about in life. If you find yourself curious, maybe that's the way you're living life right now. Another way of walking a labyrinth is called the threefold path. And that's where you bring an issue or a concern to the labyrinth walk. You start again at the entrance. You think of that thought or issue. Then as you start walking, you're purging it. You're releasing that thought or concern and just letting it be. It's kind of percolating underneath the surface. Your right brain is working on it. As you reach the center, you might come to some illumination. It might not be, a thunderbolt. It might be just, acceptance, calm acceptance. It might be some clarity. It might even be a little bit of insight or not. And that would be, as I said, illumination. You'd pause there in the center, and then you'd follow the path out again. And you'd, as you come out of it, out of the labyrinth, you would reach the point of union where either as you were walking out or as you leave the labyrinth and walk into your life, you somehow reintegrate whatever you came to, calm acceptance, spiritual consolation, insight, clarity, resolution of the issue even, and you'd reintegrate that into your life. Walking a labyrinth is helpful to do on a regular basis. That's where you really get the benefit. I do hope that you'll have some time at some point to visit this labyrinth and walk it on a regular basis here on campus.